Is that enough?
Dear Diary, I need a break. So it's been a while since I've come on here and give you guys some true tea, and that is exactly what I'm gonna give you today. I have been dealing with things for a while privately, and even still dealing with these things privately for basically the whole time. I would say since December 2022, these problems I've been dealing with behind the scenes, non-stop, really, on and off. I've just been dealing with issues and they just don't stop, honestly. Each one gets worse every time and it's just like, come on, when is enough and when am I gonna be able to just live my life with my niece? Because that's all I want to do. Like, I just want to live my life peacefully with my niece Aaliyah. I'm her legal guardian and that is what I should be doing as her guardian. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I should be doing something else as her guardian, but living a nice peaceful life, let me know, because that's all I want to do. So for those who don't know, I recently went to Jamaica and this was my first time ever going to Jamaica. I've always been like really vocal about how much I wanted to go to Jamaica on my social media. So a lot of you guys knew this was like a big trip for me and it was a big deal, me going to Jamaica for the first time. And this was also the first time leaving Aaliyah, my niece, for 7 days. Because I went to Jamaica for 7 days and this was my first time leaving her since becoming her guardian. I've never left her for 7 days anywhere, so this was going to be my first time leaving her. Okay, but even before I get into the story, so basically while I was in Jamaica, something happened that I'm going to tell you guys about, but it kind of just took me right back. Jamaica was supposed to be a lot of things for me. It was supposed to be a break, first of all. I've been through quite a lot in the last 2 years of my life, 3 years of my life, and I'm just like, okay, I need a woosah, a big woosah. It was supposed to be that for me. It was also a chance for me to reconnect with my dad, have a much needed conversation with him that is way overdue, and it was also me just being inspired, seeing where I come from. I'm Jamaican, who's never been to Jamaica? Do you know what I mean? So there was a lot of reasons why that trip was a big deal. So obviously when what happened back home, which I'm gonna tell you guys about, when that happened, I almost lost it. And I did vlog shortly after I kind of almost lost it. And I was basically telling you guys that, yeah, like, I was really grateful for the girls on the trip and all of that because they were really there for me, and they made that moment a lot easier than it would have been if I was just like alone. But it was kind of like a more so a feeling of helplessness because I'm in Jamaica. I can't deal with anything outside of Jamaica. What can I possibly do outside of Jamaica? So it was a lot in that moment, and I remember I was just like, oh my gosh, I really want to speak to my therapist right now. And I remember saying in that video that when I got home I was gonna restart my therapy sessions, because in that moment I had really wanted to speak to my therapist. Like, I was on the beach, because I was just on the beach thinking of who I can call. I did call my best friend Jamal, but I was just on the beach like, who can I call? And I did want to call my therapist, or at least message him and say like, this is happening right now, like, calm me down somehow. And this video is in paid partnership with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy-based service. So you fill out a questionnaire and then you wait, and then you'll get assigned your therapist, and you're able to speak to them either via text, video call, or phone call. It's whatever you're comfortable doing. And also, if you don't feel like your therapist is the right fit for you, you can change your therapist and no extra charge. Therapy has helped me so much individually, and I would always recommend it to anybody. I recommend it to everybody that listen, and actually some of my friends, including Jamal, have actually started therapy based on my recommendations, because it really is helpful. I always say, like, I don't feel like the stigma around therapy has really cleared up, especially in the black community. And I'm telling you, ain't nothing wrong, get some therapy. I enjoy speaking to my therapist, and I speak to my therapist about stuff that I can't sometimes even speak to my friends about. So even if you feel like you've got people in your life that you can speak to, there's certain things I speak to with my therapist that I don't with my friends, you know what I mean? So if you are interested in trying out therapy, I would definitely recommend BetterHelp. Using my link will help support my channel, but it'll also get you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. And as always, major love to BetterHelp for always supporting my channel. Okay, so quick back backstory for those who don't know and aren't familiar, I am guardian to my 3-year-old niece, Aaliyah. She has been with me since December 2021. So I became her legal guardian last year, 2023, but she's actually been living with me since December 2021, and she's only been living with me. There's not been no back and forth or none of that. That was the whole point I even stepped in, so she wouldn't go to foster care, because that was the option for her brother and sister, right? So this isn't a fresh shock where, you know, my niece hasn't been living with me since 2021, okay? So that out of the way, just because the court took so long, I only became officially legally guardian last year in June or July, one of the two. With that, I am basically her legal guardian who makes the decisions for her, as I guess a parent would, right? And in my case, both of her parents are still very much alive, being my brother and her mum. They're very much alive and they do get to have visitation, but that is solely up to me. So by court, the court order is they get 6 times each, minimum a year. And if they only see their child 6 times for that year, that is completely fine and up to me, right? If I want to let them see her more than 6 times in the year, then that is completely up to me and I can do so, as long as it is supervised. And when it's supervised, that means supervised by me or supervised by someone I trust. So the only person that I would really trust to supervise it would probably be my mum, or if not my mum, I don't know, one of my best friends. But then in them cases, they're not supervising contact visits for my niece and let's say her mum, who they wouldn't know. They would more so know my brother, if that makes sense. So in those cases, no. Also on my niece's mum's side, she's got all her sisters that can supervise this contact, or her mum. So that is what the actual layout and setup of my situation is. So when I've got a decision and responsibility to make sure that my niece is growing up, knowing her parents, having that bond, having that relationship, but then at the same time protecting her and then also protecting myself and safeguarding her, that is what I'm supposed to do as a guardian. I'm supposed to keep her safe because she was taken out of her home for a reason. She doesn't live with her parents for a reason. I'm not going to get into the reasons why she doesn't live with her parents and why she can't live with her parents, but just know it's for a reason. We all got common sense at home. We ain't stupid. Like, we know social services don't get involved and take away anybody's kids for no reason. So with that backstory out the way, let's get into what happened while I was in Jamaica. So like I said, I've never been to Jamaica before, and this was also the longest time I was going to be away, 7 days. The longest time I've been away from Aaliyah has been probably a weekend, and that's when I've gone to Belgium to make music, and I went to Manchester another time. And every single time I've gone away for a weekend, I would always leave Aaliyah with my mum. I'm lucky enough that I have my mum really close by, that she will just come stay at my house and be with Aaliyah, or she'll just go and take Aaliyah to hers. It's literally that close. You see how I'm dressed right now in my robe? I can go to my mum's house right now in my robe. I'll be there in seconds. So it's one of those situations where if I'm leaving, I already know my mum's gonna be staying in my house, or Aaliyah's gonna be over there with my mum, right? And this time was no different. And a lot of the times when I do go away, or I have gone, my mum might call my brother to come over and, you know, be with Aaliyah, and that's actually completely fine. She's supervising contact with her father, and that is completely fine. So this time was no different. I'm in Jamaica. I'm having the time of my life. Well, trying to have the time of my life. I'm trying to really, you know, get into it. I'm out, fresh outside. That's how I felt. So I was trying to like really get into it. I think I must have been, when did we get there? I think we got there on a Wednesday. This happened on a Saturday. So we'd got to Jamaica on a Wednesday. Oh my gosh, hold on, let me even take it back. Mind you, so I get to Jamaica on a Wednesday. I think on Wednesday night I kept on getting calls, Thursday, and then Friday. So I keep getting all these calls, but it's at mad times because of the time difference in Jamaica. I'm getting these calls at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm quickly trying to turn my phone off because I'm also sharing a room. I'm in a room by myself, so I'm sharing a room. I'm trying to like silence my phone until eventually they called me one time when I remember I was poolside. I'm poolside. Imagine I'm poolside. I've got my cocktail in my hand. I'm in my bikini. The sun's shining. Then I get a phone call. It was the afternoon this time, so this time I picked it up. I'm like, who is this that keeps calling me? Pick it up. You know who's trying to call me? My insurers. Basically, before I left, I got an email from my insurers, right? My insurance company cancelled my insurance, and I tried to quickly, hold on a minute, I'm leaving in a few hours to go to Jamaica, and mind you, I was parking at the airport. So I'm parking my car at the airport for 7 days to then drive home. So a few hours as I'm packing, I remember I was here, it was me, my mum, Chai, we were all here in my room, and I was like, guys, I just got an email, my insurance company, they cancelled my car insurance. So then I've tried to get it again, and then they said, sorry, we can't insure you. So then I've quickly gone on Go Compare, tried to quickly find a quote, found a quote, ended up being really expensive. I had to pay like £500 on the spot. So I paid the £500 on the spot, but then I decided to start the insurance for the day I got back. Listen, shush, don't worry about it. I've gone to the airport now. I'm thinking I'm patting, my insurance is cool. I've gone to the airport, I've parked my car, I've gone to Jamaica. They're the ones calling me, the people that I paid £500 to insure me, they're the ones saying, no, sorry, we can't actually insure you. So they've cancelled my insurance and said, say, we're gonna give you a refund, but we're gonna keep £75 for a cancellation fee. So that's lovely. I just gave away £70 for no reason. So now I'm thinking, all I'm thinking while I'm in Jamaica is, crap, when I get back home now, I don't have any insurance on my car, and my car is parked in the damn airport. What am I gonna do? So that's all I was thinking. That was my first little damper in Jamaica. Then something else happened in Jamaica, which I'm not even gonna get into, but something else happened in Jamaica which put another little right there in the ribs. Then we get to what we're talking about now, the third kicker. So this has all happened. I've landed Wednesday, like I said, and this has all happened throughout the week. So now that's on my mind. Saturday comes now. Remember, I don't leave until Tuesday. I stayed 7 days. So I left London on Tuesday, got to Jamaica Wednesday, leaving Jamaica Tuesday, gonna get to London Wednesday morning. So we're now coming up to Saturday. It's Saturday now. Another normal day. Again, was walking actually back to one of the girls' rooms. We were gonna go and chill out in one of the girls' rooms. And as we're walking back, I get a phone call from my mum. My mum's like, this is gonna ruin your trip. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, this is gonna ruin your trip. I'm like, Mum, what are you talking about? Can you just say it, please? What? I stopped in my tracks. I stood there. The two girls I was with, they stopped. They looked at me like to try and gauge like, what's the vibe on the phone? Like, what's it giving right now? And I'm just like, what is it? So hold on, wait, pause. I'm just gonna refer to my niece's mother as Gina, because I've never said her name on my platform, and I don't plan to now. And that's another thing, because she tries to make herself visible, I guess, on my platform, and I don't know why. So anybody that does know what her name is, kindly don't start putting it in the comments or start posting her pages, like all of that, because she very much has tried to insert herself into my, I guess you could say, audience. She wants the attention of that. She wants the sort of the direct comments, I guess, from people. So I've never actually said her name. If you can go to any video, I've never said her name. I would always refer to her as Aaliyah's mother, but in this story we're about to refer to her as Gina. Okay, so I'm stood in my tracks, my mum's on the phone, my heart's beating at this point. I'm thinking, what is she gonna tell me? I'm thinking something, no, she shouldn't be doing that.
Oh, she had this and she was like, not in there. She went to the slot with the PlayStation, was like she's done it before. I hope you ain't been doing that. But I told her no anyway.
I'm a doctor.
You're really a doctor now. She was a princess this morning.
Because I was coughing a minute ago, she's trying to be a doctor now, trying to look after me.
So I'm thinking my mum's about to tell me something happened to Aaliyah, and I'm just like, what? Why is this gonna ruin my trip? What? Gina's taken Aaliyah and she's not giving her back. I said, what? I said, what do you mean she's taken her? How has she gotten her? She goes, your brother took her over there and now she's refusing to give her back. I started going mad. I started screaming. I was like, no, I don't care. My brother's dead to me. My brother's dead to me. Like, I was going mad. The girls around me, they just started like trying to console me, I guess, and trying to like calm me down, because obviously like the hotel staff were walking around as well. Because I remember later on when I went back to the pool, one of the staff asked me, he's like, I did see her, yeah, I got somebody up on the phone. everything alright? And I was just like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. But yeah, I literally went mad. I ended up going to the girls' room. Then I remember my mum, because I wasn't even on the phone long with my mum, because after she told me that and I'm going mad, she was like, hold on, I have to call you back, I'm here with the police. And then she's hung up the phone on me. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what do you mean you're here with the police? So you're telling me police, you're telling me, say Aaliyah's gone, and what do you mean Aaliyah's gone? I'm so confused, what do you mean? So I'm stuck in Jamaica. It's Saturday, I don't leave until Tuesday. So I have another 4 days really, because I'm not gonna get back to London until Wednesday. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going out of my mind. That's what I'm doing. I'm going out of my mind. So eventually that day, later on that day, I get the full story. My mum messages me and she gives me the full story. And the full story was my mum was staying at my house as planned. Aaliyah, who lives here, was staying here too with her. My friend Chai, he came to visit. He was supposed to stay the whole week too. I told him he was more than welcome to stay the whole week. He's a part of my family. My whole entire family have already welcomed Chai as part of the family. So he was supposed to stay at my house as well for the week, but he didn't end up staying the full week. I think he came up a few times and then went back home and then came back. And then my brother would be coming over as well, coming whatever. So Chai didn't end up staying for the week at my house with my mum. So it was just my mum here and Aaliyah, and also my sister who lives with my mum would also be over here. Now on this particular day that this abduction, I want to call it, took place, this was a day when my mum was at my house, Chai had come down to be at my house, my brother was at my house, and Aaliyah was at my house, right? So as I've been told, my mum went to her house, and remember from I said before, my mum lives very close to me. I could walk over there in my robe and I'll be there in seconds. So my mum's quickly gone over to her house, right? I don't know what she was doing over there or what she got held up doing, but while she was over there, my brother took it upon himself to leave the house and take his child with him. Now in a normal setting, that would be okay, a dad taking his daughter wherever he's going, but in this situation, that's not okay. He didn't use his brain to think if that was okay or not, and he did what he did. While he was out, this is where his story comes in. While he was out, this is just the story that was relayed to me, because remember, I'm in Jamaica. I don't know what happened. This is what I was told. So while he's out with his child, he gets a call from Gina, my niece's mum. And she says, hey, so this was on a Friday. This happened on a Friday, okay? She says, hey, I'm having my son visit on Saturday. It would be nice to have Aaliyah so she can spend time with her brother and her sisters, and I can see my child as well at the same time. That's what she said, and this isn't something out of the ordinary to say, because this is true. Her son is in foster care and he comes to visit on Saturday. So that's not something that's out of the ordinary. This isn't something that we haven't set up before, where Aaliyah hasn't gone and seen her brother on a certain day just because that's the day he's gonna be there. This has happened before, so this wasn't something unusual to ask of, I guess you could say, for her to ask of. So like any other time, I guess he thought it was the same. So then he brought her over there, but he brought her over there without informing anybody, and that is where things get sticky, okay? You have to inform me. I'm her guardian, and if not me and you can't reach me, you inform the person that had responsibility of the child, which is my mum. So he should have let my mum know what the situation was, but no, he did what he wanted to do and he took Aaliyah over there. Now the plan was, according to what the story I've been told, the plan was that Gina said, I'm gonna bring her home at 3 o'clock after they've had lunch. Okay, cool. And that's apparently when he was going home. When her son goes home and after they've had lunch, then she'll bring her home. 3 o'clock came, she didn't bring her home. And apparently they received another call where she said, oh, I'll bring her home at 7. Can I keep her for dinner? And then after dinner, I'll bring her home for 7. Apparently 7 came and she didn't bring her home. So They turned up to the house. When I say they, I mean my mum and my brother. They turned up to her house to pick Aaliyah up, and she wouldn't open the door. She refused to open the door. She was screaming behind the door. Apparently there was someone else in there with her too. They were both screaming, saying that they're not letting them in. Go away. They're calling the police. You're not getting Aaliyah back. She's my child. You're not having her. You'll never see her again. You're never gonna see her. So that is why the police are involved. So my mum's called the police, of course, because she's responsible for Aaliyah right now, and she can't even get her back. This woman won't open the door, and she's being verbally abusive on the phone and behind the door as well. So she's verbally abusing my mum, verbally abusing my brother, doing all of this verbal abuse in front of my niece, two of my nieces actually, because one of them lives with her. So two of my nieces and her other daughter. So she's got 3 young girls in the house, verbally abusing my mum, causing a scene, not letting Aaliyah go with my mum where she should be going because she knows I'm her guardian. We all sat in court. It's just, it's ridiculous. So then my mum's called the police. The police have turned up after all of that. So they're there for ages. It's not like it's a quick thing. The police are there for hours. They have to get both sides of the story. So they're getting her side of the story, they're getting my mum's side of the story. She's basically painting her side of the story of my whole entire family's dangerous. I'm dangerous, my mum's dangerous, my brother's dangerous, everybody's dangerous. I just left Aaliyah and effed off to Jamaica, so I'm not even bothered about her anyway, and we're just all dangerous people and Aaliyah's not safe with us. That's what Gina's told the police, right? And then obviously my mum on the other side has told the police a completely different story. So after all of that palaver, it ends up that they're not able to give Aaliyah to my mum because she's not on the paperwork that says guardian. The only person that can come and pick Aaliyah up is me. So of course that makes things 10 times worse. And I really feel like that's a flaw in the whole system of, you know, like special guardianship and all of that. There should be somewhere where someone else's name is written down, like a next of, almost like a next of kin, where if the main person isn't available, what's next? Because you know what their solution was? Their solution was Aaliyah's gonna remain where she is at Gina's house until I get back. So mind you, this is on Saturday. I don't get back until Wednesday morning. And basically they're just saying there's nothing that they can do about it because my mum's name isn't on any of the special guardianship paperwork, and it's only my name on there. My name is the only name on there. So I'm the only one that can actually come and pick her up. That's what the police said to her. They said, if your daughter was here and she came here trying to do this, we could enforce the law. Right now we can't enforce no laws. Right now they couldn't enforce any laws, and the child was with her mother. She was brought to her, so it's not like she went out of her way, saw Aaliyah on the street and snatched her up and started running. It's not one of them situations. She was actually brought to her daughter, so it's not like she did anything wrong either. So after speaking to my mum and getting all the details and all of that, I spoke to a social worker as well, and I told her that I had concerns. I had concerns for my niece's safety, and I did have concerns, genuine concerns, because I already know some of the reasons why the children were removed from the house in the first place, and I don't feel like a lot of those things have changed. So I did have some concerns. So I told the social worker this. She's obviously asking me questions about my trip and blah 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 and what had happened, and I told her what had happened, and she said she wanted to see me when I got back, and I'm like, that's fine, but I don't think Aaliyah should be there until I get back. But she was telling me the same thing. She's gonna have to stay there until you get back because you're the only person on the special guardianship order. And then she also told me, but the police did a welfare check and everything was fine. So her telling me that the police did a welfare check, okay, I felt a bit at ease. Let's fast forward. I was told that the police did a welfare check. I don't believe that's true, and I'm gonna tell you why when I get into the rest of the story. So I was told that, and I had to just sit there and wait. I even tried to like look into changing my flight, all of that. It was just way too expensive. Couldn't even, like, it just made no sense. Nothing was making sense, and I was just stuck there. Yeah, I had to wait. So get to Tuesday, leave now. I get back Wednesday morning. So Wednesday morning, I zoomed out of that airport. I even left all of the other girls. You can even ask Paige. I left all of the other girls. I said to Paige, listen, you know what, I gotta go handle. And she was like, do your thing. I zoomed off. I went and I got my car. Remember the problems I was having with my car. I went and got my car. I quickly went home. When I got home, I had my neighbor help me. Shout out to my neighbor, because my neighbor came through, because I was telling her what was happening while I was in Jamaica, because she was checking up on my house for me and things like that, because obviously I've got dogs as well, so she was always looking in and out for me. So obviously she knew what was going on. She was like, I will take you to go and get Aaliyah. So because she knew what was going on with my car as well, so she was like, come home, jump in my car, and then we'll go and get Aaliyah. So that was the plan, right? So I've gone home now. She's bucked me outside. She's like, you gonna go inside and speak to your mum? I'm like, no, it's time to go. I didn't even go inside, speak to my mum, nothing. I didn't even unpack my suitcase out my car. I jumped straight out of my car, straight into hers in our car park. And we went straight to Gina's house, okay? Because that's where Leah's been this whole time, right? And this, mind you, was probably, what time was it? It was after 8 o'clock in the morning, coming up to 9. So it was after 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? I landed, I think, 7:15, and by the time it took me to get out and get up there, it was coming up to 9 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I jump in my neighbour's car, I call the police, because I already know the way I feel. I'm vexed, I'm angry. Like, if we want to talk about the whole situation at hand and how it happened, because mind you, while I was in Jamaica, when I was in Jamaica, I posted, if anybody follows me on Snapchat, follow me now. If you don't, I'll leave my Snapchat somewhere on the screen. But I posted on Snapchat, it's always some shit when I'm out of the country, or it's always some shit when I'm away. I posted that on Snapchat, so if anyone follows me, you know what post I'm talking about. Apparently, yeah, this post was screenshot by Gina and sent to my brother, like, what's your sister talking about? So you're screenshotting my post, you're watching me, you're seeing what I'm doing in my life, you know where I am, you know I'm in Jamaica, and you thought this was the time to execute your amazing plan. And she executed it. It was executed until I got home, because remember, I'm the only person legally that can pick my niece up. So fast forward back now, I've jumped in my neighbour's car. As I've jumped in my neighbour's car, I've called the police straight away, because I am fuming. I already know that it's going to be a confrontational situation, and I just don't have time for it. I just don't want to deal with it. I really just don't want to deal with it. So I'd rather the police be there, I be there, we both go and knock on the door together, collect my niece nice and calmly and peacefully, and then I go about my way. Of course things weren't like that. I called the police. I'm telling the woman on the phone what's going on, what the situation is, and why I would like her to send some officers out. She said to me now, I've gotten, just as soon as I've gotten to the house, I'm still talking to her. I'm talking to her the whole way from our house all the way to Gina's house. So by the time we get there, I'm like, okay, I've just arrived. Are you sending officers? Are they coming? And she goes, yes, I'm sending them, but have you tried to go up yourself? I said, no, I don't want to go up yourself. I've already told you why I don't want to go up myself. I've told you that. And like, for her safety, honestly, you shouldn't be trying to tell me to go up myself, because I said, the way I feel, lady, you shouldn't be trying to tell me to go up. For her sake, you shouldn't be trying to tell me to go up. She's like, I think you should knock on the door and try and get, you know, everything sorted out amongst you all first, so it can be done civilly. If it can't be done civilly, then of course the police step in. I said, okay. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna keep you on the phone. So I've got her on loudspeaker now. I've got the policewoman on loudspeaker, and then I've got my neighbour next to me. My neighbour, obviously, she's like, your mum and your brother already tried to come here and get Aaliyah back. She refused to open the door to them, so she's probably gonna refuse to open the door to us too. So I was like, good point. So my neighbour was like, listen, I'll just say delivery and then see if she opens the door. There's a peephole on the door, obviously. My neighbour stood in front of it. I've stood where the wall is, so she couldn't see through the peephole. She's knocked the door. Who is it? Delivery. She opened the door. When she opened the door, I stepped to the side. Mind you, the police is still on the phone on loudspeaker in my hand. I said, grab Aaliyah's things. She starts going, no, she's not coming with you. She's not coming with you. Starts to close the door. I put my foot there. I said, get Aaliyah's things. No, get away from my door. This is trespassing. Get out of my house. Get away. No, you're not taking her. You're not having her. I said to the police officer, can you hear her? The officer says, yes, I can hear her. I said, oh. After that, something just took over in me, because I didn't business nothing about no police on the phone. I didn't business nothing about her telling me trespassing. No, I didn't business nothing about nothing. All I cared about in that moment was getting in that house and collecting my niece and taking her home. So what did I do? I used a bit of force and I pushed my way through the door and got inside of the house. That's when she started going, no, get out of my house. You can't be in there, there's trespassing. So you come in, there's like a walkway, there's a kitchen, bathroom, rooms, right? And then a living room. She had a baby gate on the living room. She's got 3 girls in there, mind you, at this time. She's got 3 girls in there, one of which she's not supposed to have. Okay, so instantly I see Aaliyah on the other side of the gate, and then as soon as I came in, she called for me, and that was even the worst part about it, because she called for me and she was so happy to see me, and then she was like, no, and she stood in front of the gate. She's like, no, no, you're not going anywhere, go back, go back, go back, get back, get back, like trying to push the kids back, get back, get back. And I'm like, where's Aaliyah's things? I start looking around the house, I'm like, where's Aaliyah's things, where's Aaliyah's things? Because even this, when I was in Jamaica and I had found out that all of this had happened back home, and I knew that Aaliyah was now there and she wouldn't be able to come back until I get back, I was praying, I was looking on the socials, I was seeing things, and I'm seeing her post up videos of Aaliyah in her expensive clothes, and I'm thinking, this is what Aaliyah was sent over there in, her expensive, good, like her good designer clothes. So now I'm already thinking in my mind, her designer clothes are dashed down somewhere in there, probably mash up. So I'm walking around, I'm like, where's her things? Where's Aaliyah's things? I'm like, where's Aaliyah's expensive things? Yeah, that I pay for. I was honestly, all I saw was rage. And as I started speaking like this, because the thing is, I weren't even shouting, I did not shout. My voice was at this level the whole time. This is an exact reenactment of how I was talking, yeah? So when I'm in the house, I'm like, where's Aaliyah's things? Get me Aaliyah's expensive blood clutch. Like, because I'm getting angry, but I'm trying to keep it cool. And then my neighbor sees that I'm getting heated and she grabs my phone from me. She's like, no, because remember, the operator from the police, they're still on the phone. They're on the phone the whole time. So obviously she's like, she grabs my phone like, don't you now end up in some shit, because you're gonna lose your temper messing with Gina. So I start walking around the house because I will locate her belongings myself. Then she's gonna stand there. She's just standing there barricading the baby gate so I can't get to Aaliyah, as if she thinks I'm just gonna come and snatch Aaliyah. Why would I do that to Aaliyah? At that point, it's not about you. It's not about me just getting Aaliyah back to try and spite you or something. So I'm not gonna go and roughly or forcefully or, you know, have a little tussle trying to grab a baby. So I don't know why she was even standing there barricading the gate as if that's something I would do. We will definitely peacefully walk out of this house, whether you like it or not. We're not walking out of this house with a fight. I'm not gonna fight you over a human child. So she's just standing there with her arms out, barricading the gate, while I'm walking around the rest of the house trying to find Aaliyah's belongings, because I know they're in here somewhere. And where did I find them? On the kitchen floor. And when I found them on the kitchen floor, I just started to notice how dirty my surroundings were. Filthy, horrible. There's been 3 young girls, all under the age of 5, in this house looking like this. And then I start saying to Gina, hold on a minute, why does your house look like this? That's what I start directing my attention to. Why does your house look like this? And then I'm like, hold on a minute. I say to my neighbour, let me use your phone to take some pictures, because remember, my neighbour still had my phone in her hand on the phone to the police, trying to still talk to them. So I've taken my neighbour's phone now and I've started snapping pictures everywhere. And this is why I mentioned the part about the safeguarding in the beginning of the story, because I will be posting these photos on my Snapchat account. So if you don't follow me on Snapchat, again, here's my Snapchat. I'll be posting the photos of the house on Snapchat for awareness, because when I spoke to the social worker on the phone while I was in Jamaica, she told me a police officer did a welfare check. And I double checked this with another social worker as well, who reassured me and said, yes, when it comes to welfare checks, people know where to check. Because I said to them, can we make sure they did a check properly? Not that they just maybe went into the house, went in the living room, and the living room looked decent. She could have cleaned up the living room, but then the bathroom looks a state, or the kitchen looks a state, or her bedroom looks a state, the kids' room. Like, are they going in and checking, or are they just going in, sitting in the living room and then saying, yeah, everything's fine? Like, I need to know. And no, he reassured me. He said, no, that's not how it works. They would have checked everywhere. They would have done a thorough welfare check if that's what they told you was done. Because I needed to know, because the woman told me on the phone that a welfare check was done. So I had to double check. What does welfare check? Do you know what I mean? So mind you, this welfare check would have been done on the Saturday that they left Aaliyah there and said that they can't take Aaliyah, and they have to wait until I get home to take her. So on Saturday they would have done this welfare check. I went to go pick up Aaliyah Wednesday morning. So those days, you do the math. I do not believe the house could have gotten in the state that I saw it in the space of Saturday till Wednesday morning. I don't. And like I said, I've put the pictures, they'll be there for 24 hours. That's how Snapchat works. This is what happens and why people end up in situations where it's like, oh, the system failed this child or the system failed that child. How is this happening and how is this allowed to happen? And I believe it's been reported. Everything that I'm mentioning, this has already been reported. I've done my part of what I can do, but I'm gonna do more. I'm sorry, because I've been quiet for so long. I've kept my mouth quiet. I've been dealing with this ongoing issue since I've become guardian, and since, to be honest, Gina's been in my life. It's been nothing but chaos. But now enough is enough. I'm not, nah. It's not right. As I'm saying all that, I'm walking around, I'm like, hold on a minute. Why does your house look like this and you've got 3 young girls in here? You have 3 young children in here. And then she's making all the excuses. Oh, what? After they've had their breakfast? Oh, what? After they're playing? Mind you, when I went into the room, one of the girls, the eldest one, she was in bed, not even at school. I've come out, the other 2 girls don't have pants on. Well, actually, no, Aaliyah didn't have any pants on. Aaliyah had a hoodie on and no pants. And my other niece, she had on some sort of dress. So it was already chaotic when we arrived. The house looked chaotic, the kids looked chaotic. Her eldest daughter was in bed, not at school, and she's of school age. So yeah, it was just, already I was just like confused on what is going on in here actually. Like, it's not like we entered a house where a mum was just cleaning up after her kids who just had breakfast and now they were getting ready for the day, or now they were getting ready to go into the bathroom and brush teeth. Like, it's not like they were having a routine and, you know, it was a nice, loving environment set up, if that makes sense. I walked into chaos. I walked into a chaotic, messy, filthy house, kids without clothes on, one in bed. Every single room was a mess, every single one. The toilet looked like it hadn't been cleaned in years. Anyway, sorry, I'm just thinking about it and recalling it, and I'm getting back into it, and I'm just like, how did anyone do a welfare check there? Like, that wasn't just mess from kids playing, that was filth. That was How Clean Is Your House, Kim and Aggie, that show back in the day. That's what it was. So I don't understand how anyone did a welfare check there. So as I'm walking around, I'm taking the pictures, and she's like, oh yeah, what, after the kids ate breakfast? Oh, what, after the kids were playing? No, actually. And then I went into her room, I was like, what about your room? I was like, look at your room. Why does your room like that? It's not my room actually, it's the clothes room actually. She has a 2-bedroom. The girls, they're in one room, she's in the other room. It wasn't a clothes room. She's just saying it's a clothes room because there was literally clothes everywhere, amongst food and amongst garbage and amongst junk. And so after all of that, the police finally arrive. When the police arrive, they're now asking me and my neighbor to go outside. She keeps on saying, I want him at my house, I want him at my house, making it seem like we're a danger and we're a threat. And by this time as well, also, while we were waiting for the police to come, she was on the phone to the social worker, the same social worker that told me that the police did a welfare check. She was on the phone to her and saying, no, you can't, because I was even trying to like reason with her. I was like, Gina, you already know that when the police get here, they are going to give me Aaliyah. I am her legal guardian. Why are you acting like we didn't all go through the same court system for the last 2 years? And she's like, no, they're not actually, because my, yeah, and I'm on the phone to someone too, and they already told me that I have parental rights and blah, blah, blah. And no, I'm not giving her to you. You ain't got no rights over me, and you ain't getting nothing, and blah, you're gonna see. And no, it's not a waste of time actually, because I was like, this is so pointless. Why are you doing all of this? And especially you're doing all of this in front of the kids. Because at one point, my youngest niece, who lives with her, started crying hysterically. And meanwhile, she's holding on to Aaliyah for dear life, like she thinks I'm going to wrestle her for the child. She's standing there just holding Aaliyah. At one point, Aaliyah said, I want to get down now. And she said, no, you can't get down. I don't know why she thinks she can't get down. Does she think as soon as she put Aaliyah on the floor, I was going to snatch her and run? I don't need to do that. I'm going to sit right here. I was sat on the edge of her sofa, waiting for the police to arrive. That's what I was doing. I wasn't doing anything else. After I found Aaliyah's belongings, put them in her bag, I put the bag next to my foot and I sat down on the edge of her sofa. I wasn't going to sit on the actual sofa because it was dirty. So you know? So while we're waiting for the police to arrive, that's why I'm saying all these things to her. I'm like, you're just making her things a lot worse. I'm like, I get it, okay, cool. If you want your child back, this isn't the way to do it. Do it through court. How will we doing it through court, actually? Because she's not coming back to you, and you just went into F off to Jamaica. I was like, is that what this is all about? I said, are you jealous? Are you jealous that I'm able to take 7 days off and go to Jamaica and enjoy myself? Is that what it is? Because I'm confused why you keep bringing that up. Because she brought it up a few times. She's like, no, but you couldn't be bothered and you don't care. You just F off and just leave Aaliyah. I'm like, I left Aaliyah with her grandmother. I'm like, yeah, I left Aaliyah with her grandmother. I'm not gonna be crucified for that. I'm so confused on where I've gone wrong. If I was a mother myself and Aaliyah was in fact my child, I would still F off to Jamaica and leave my child with my mum. Because who's with the child every other time? Me. So then the police finally arrive. They end up telling us to wait outside because she kept on going on about how she wants us out of her house, out of her house. And then they're like, don't worry. I was like, I'm not leaving without my niece. I just hope you know that. And they're like, listen, we're right here. Don't worry, your niece is fine. And then whatever. So we've gone outside. We're speaking to one officer. She's inside speaking to another officer. She's done the same thing she did with my mum and my brother. She started telling them the same things about me, how I'm dangerous, how Aaliyah can't go with me, and this, that, the third. And I've just basically told them the truth, the real story of what's happened, history of her and history of things in the past, loads of things that you guys don't even know about and probably will never know about. There's been loads of things. So I'm trying to fill them in with that because at the end of the day, they've met us both for the first time on that day. They don't know us from nowhere. But all I could really go with was, come on, the house. That was like my main evidence right there. I was like, look at the house. Do you feel like that's a house suitable? 3 young girls. And then the woman officer we were talking to, she weren't really trying to comment too tough on it. And I'm thinking, don't be trying to, it's like she was trying to just be very neutral. And I'm like, you have eyes. And they, well, I haven't really been around the whole house. And like, girl, I'm like, even the walkway, as soon as you go through the front door, like, what are you talking about? But when the male police officer came out after he was finished speaking to Gina, he did say, yeah, the place is, and I was like, exactly, because I was told a welfare check was done here. How could a welfare check have been done here? And it looks like this. He at least flipping agreed and had some damn sense. So in the end, long story short, of course Aaliyah came home with me. She peacefully walked out the door like I always planned for it to go. I'm gonna go pick her up and we're gonna peacefully leave. Unfortunately, we had to go through all of that first. But then even as she's leaving, she's still trying to say stuff. She's still trying to get involved. Imagine now, Aaliyah's coming out with no coat on. I'm like, hasn't she got a coat? And then here Gina now, oh yeah, the coat that they keep putting her in that doesn't even fit her. It's just 24 months. Okay. I didn't even bother saying nothing. She did all of that in front of the 2 officers and they were just like, okay. And then my neighbour was like, that's her old coat, ain't it? And then I was like, I wasn't saying nothing the whole time because all I did was take the coat, put it on Aaliyah, zipped it up. I said, oh, what a perfect fit. And I walked off because yes, Aaliyah's small for her bloody age. So her 24-month jacket fits her. It's actually got space. It's long over her flipping sleeve. It fits her very perfectly, actually. I'm not gonna go buy her a 3-year-old coat for her to drown in it. I'm gonna buy her a coat that fits her, and that one fits her. So why you're trying to get leery? But that's what I'm saying. That's the type of person she is, where there's always like a remark, or there's always a comment, or there's always something. She's like, just accept it. You was there running your mouth, telling me that I weren't having Aaliyah back and that who cares if I'm her guardian and all of this. Like, I said to her as well, I was like, the thing is, you are attacking me, fighting me as if I took your child away from you. I did not take your child away from you. You are not in this situation because of me. I did not cause any of this, okay? I just stepped in when needed to take my niece in so she wouldn't end up in foster care, because that is where her brothers and sisters ended up, okay? Because there was nobody able to step in for them. I was there to step in for my niece. That's all this is. I did not come to ruin Gina's life and take Gina's child away from her. That's not what happened here. And that's how she's acting, and it's confusing. Like, all I've done is give your child a home, giving your child a good life, take your child places, teach your child things, give your child experiences. Like, it's me who's there for my niece 24/7. It's me who's there when she's waking up in the middle of the night. It's me who's there up bright and early in the morning doing the breakfast. It's me, okay? Like, I'm not gonna go through all of this. I'm not going to purposely make myself a single mother, because that's what I've done. I'm not gonna purposely make myself a single mother just to spite Gina or just to try and take Gina's child. No, like, it don't make no sense, and that's how she moves. But anyway, got Aaliyah back. We went back home, and I'm thinking this is gonna be at the end of it. Not the end of it like that, because now she's telling me that she's reopening the court case and she's gonna withdraw SGO, because originally she agreed, both of her parents agreed, okay, for me to be special guardian. They both signed papers in court agreeing that they are happy for me to be special guardian. So even this now is just ridiculous, because now she's like, no, I'm taking it back. I'm gonna withdraw the SGO, as if she has the power to do that. She doesn't have the authority or the power to do that, but that's what she's saying to me. When I'm in her face, she's shouting in my face that she's gonna take the SGO back and court will be reopened now. So now I've spoken to the social worker again, and they told me that they're gonna have to come and see me. They want to come see me and have a chat with me because of what happened and how we can prevent this from happening again. And they were also talking about opening court and all this again. So while I'm waiting to get either an email or a letter or something telling me when someone is gonna come to the house, imagine I'm chilling. It's a random Sunday evening. I'm just chilling. I'm in bed. I'm on FaceTime. I start getting these calls from a random number. I start getting calls from an 0300 number, and I'm thinking it's a business at 9:30 at night. I'm thinking at 9:30 at night, what businesses are calling people at 9:30 at night? I'm declining the call. Like I said, I'm on FaceTime. I'm in my bed, this bed right here, laying back on FaceTime, and I'm getting these calls. Decline, 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 right? They're calling me all the way up until midnight. Why do these people keep calling me, and who are they? I finally get off the phone. Once I'm off the phone, I call the number back, expecting it to go to voicemail, because I'm thinking it's out of hours now for sure. By this time, it might have been 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's out of hours for sure. So ain't no one gonna pick up, and then maybe I can hear the voicemail and hear who is calling me. No, someone picks up, a woman picks up. I'm like, who is this? Social service, out of hours. I said, sorry? She's asking me, are you at home right now? Yes. Is Aaliyah with you? Yes. Why are you asking me these questions? Because we've had reports that you left Aaliyah with your brother and went out to the pub. I did what? Sorry? Gina called them and told them that I left Aaliyah with my brother and I went to the pub. Do I even look like someone that goes to the pub? I said, excuse me, Miss Lady. I said, I'm in my bed. I'm in my house. I've been in my house all day. Aaliyah's been in this house with me all day, yeah? She's in her bed right now, yeah? I have cameras, furthermore, on the front door, back door, and inside of the house. So if you need me to send footage verifying where I've been all day, and yesterday, and the day before that, because mind you, this woman don't even know. I don't even have insurance on my car. I've been at home since I've come home from Jamaica. I've not been nowhere, let alone a pub, okay? Now she has to send someone for that. So now she's telling me she has to send someone to come see me about that. So now someone's seen me about already what happened and how Aaliyah even got to her mum's house while I was in Jamaica. And now someone else is coming to see me now because I've left Aaliyah with my brother to go to the pub. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So then someone calls me again the next day and I'm trying to explain. I'm like, I've had some time to think on it. And this is actually not on, because I'm a grown ass woman for people to be calling me after 10 o'clock at night asking me where I am. Or whatever time they're flipping ringing off my phone, because that's what they're calling me off to ask me. At 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Until I call them back at 1 o'clock, and that's what you're telling me. I'm a big woman for people to be calling me asking me where I am, you know, and where's Aaliyah. Don't treat me like I get that you have to do your job, and that's what I said to him. I was like, I get you guys have to do your job, but remember, I'm not the bad person here. I'm not the criminal here. Like, I'm not the one who had my kids removed from me. So listening to someone in that situation over the person who was suitable, who you guys checked thoroughly for the whole year, made my life a living hell, how in my life and in my business you were, just to see that I was suitable to be Aaliyah's guardian, for you to now be coming to my house just because she called you and said I was at the pub. I told you I weren't at the pub. Why isn't that the end of it? Why am I now getting visits to my home for 2 hours while you write down everything I say? Because best believe when he came, I let him have it. I took him back to the beginning. It was story time. I took him back to the beginning of how this woman even came into the picture, because you guys don't even know. A whole fan, yeah? She's a whole fan. But I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm going to leave that right there. So honestly, sometimes if I look like I'm going through it, I probably do have something on my mind. Probably I do have something on my mind, because it's ongoing. And he already told me as well, the social worker, he told me she can call as many times as she wants, and as many times as she calls, we're gonna have to check it out. And I'm like, okay, so if that's how it's gonna be, maybe I need to start doing some pub sightings then. Maybe I need to start calling you lot and telling you that I've seen her at the pub. Where's her kids? She's left them alone and she's at the pub. Do I need to start doing that then? And he's like, well, no, because then it's like tit for tat. I'm like, exactly. Understand where I'm coming from, and understand that she's just trying to do things to make me miserable. She's trying to cause drama and stress. She does not believe I'm at a pub. There's no way, why would she come up with that idea from nowhere when I was at home in my bed on Sunday? There was no images of me at a pub. There was no videos of me. She did not believe I was at a pub. She just wanted to call, make up a lie, because she weren't satisfied with what happened Wednesday morning when I was able to go pick up Aaliyah. So Sunday she decided that she was gonna call up and say, hey, Daina's at the pub with her mates and she's left Aaliyah with her dad. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. And even so, if Aaliyah was with her dad, as long as there's someone else supervising around, I'm well within my right to do that. So again, it makes no sense how she's able to just call up and that instantly has social workers sitting on my couch for 2 hours. Like, that's the part that I'm not getting, because I'm not doing anything wrong. Am I losing the plot here? But anyway, my camera keeps stopping, so I think that means it's time to stop. But it's been a long time since you guys got a really long video from me. But savor it, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be away again. I've decided I can't make promises to you guys anymore, because I hate breaking promises and I don't like being untrustworthy. And I feel like the more I promise you guys I'm gonna come back with videos, and then I become untrustworthy. And I don't want that for us. Not in 2024. But I should see you guys very soon.